What's up, peeps? Kwanzaa here. So I took off today, actually working on a lot of stuff. Trying to look at my hair, sorry. Working on a lot of stuff in preparation for my upcoming women's conference, Girlfriend Therapy Conference 2016. I cannot believe that it's been 6 years that we've been offering this conference, and it's been so incredible. Every year, you know, and just a week away, almost literally a week away, a week and a day. Today is Friday, March the 19th, 18th, something, 18th. And so my conference is next Saturday, March the 26th. And so literally probably about a week and a day away. And so, of course, everything that I've been doing lately has really just evolved around girlfriend therapy, everything. And so one of the things as I, began to prepare for a conference is, of course, the first few months leading up to is just a lot of work, just a lot of logistics, pulling stuff together, coordinating and all that stuff. And it's, it comes with a lot, it comes with a lot because you're dealing with people, you're dealing with people's time, you're, having to commit to, make financial commitments and different things like that. And then you're trusting, God for the results. About 2 years ago, actually a year ago, because this will be the second year, God said to do this completely debt-free. Of course, in the previous years, I would use my credit card to reserve or to, what is the word? To book, hotel space and conference space and things like that. I would order products using my credit card and things like that. But this last year, God said, to do this completely debt-free, got a revelation on debt freedom. And, was rolling with it, running with it, still is rolling with it and running with it, not just for the conference, but just for my life and for my family. And so the revelation that he gave me, both my husband and I, of course, we've passed that down to our children and, trying to get them the revelation on debt freedom. But my point is that, with the Girlfriend Therapy Conference, God said, to do this debt free. And so what I've learned over the past couple of years is that doing things debt free, is amazing. Doing things debt free, you have to plan better. You have to decide really what's important and what's not. It's funny because I'm kind of catching a theme here. I did a video earlier where I was talking about, having a vegetarian lifestyle or adopting a vegetarian lifestyle, and some of those same themes, better planning, deciding what's good and what's not. So that kind of same theme is coming into, the ministry that is Girlfriend Therapy and how that is affecting, my planning and my preparation for the conference and different things like that. So I'm sorry, just had a moment of like, this sounds familiar. So yeah, but those are the consistent themes. So when God said to do Girlfriend Therapy debt free, as you know, everything I do under Girlfriend Therapy is free of charge. I don't charge the women who come out to the conference or who come out to the forums or even a healing circle, which is something that's been on hiatus far too long. And really looking for ways to kind of get that back into, offering back to the women. And so, so as I was preparing for Girlfriend Therapy Conference 2016, there's just this constant, paying attention to what I'm buying, what I'm doing. And this year, because we continue to grow, and so as you grow, of course, things become more expensive. And so it's just a matter of, it's becoming more expensive. So you have to, prepare better. You have to plan better. I can't go out and just purchase a whole bunch of products and different things like that. But I have to order products at a certain time and, have a schedule and all of this stuff, which is, it's cool because it really builds something up in me. And that's what I'm realizing. A lot of times people say that they want to go into ministry. And I don't know, and I'm not questioning, but my experience has been, first of all, I didn't ask to go into ministry. I remember over 23 years ago, at least, a former pastor that we had, I was leaving the church. And at this point, I probably was a year, maybe 2 years into my Christian walk. And I remember a pastor like, God has a mighty ministry, for you. There's ministry in you. And I didn't know what that meant. I thought it was just something, yeah, okay, whatever, something that he said. But now fast forward 18, 19 years later, and God Speaks Girlfriend Therapy Conference, and it's like, Girlfriend Therapy Conference, what is this? And it literally took me, I think, at least a year before I was comfortable with saying that this is a ministry. And I think the level of comfort wasn't there because I had already, even within that first year, began to get a lot of resistance. I don't know what that was about. But for example, there were churches that wouldn't support it, that wouldn't share it. Individual women would take it and share with the women in their churches. But even the church that I was affiliated with at the time just would not recognize it, would not acknowledge it. There were times where I wanted to bring people in to share their ministry gifts. And, it's like, oh, you need to send a letter to my pastor. And, I need to know who you're affiliated with and all these different things. And what I found very interesting is that early on, God said no affiliations. And I didn't know what that meant. But I'm so grateful. And I can probably get into a long testimony about this because 6 years into this ministry and 25 years as 25 years as a Christian, as a believer, you start really pulling those threads and seeing those things that have been consistent through just your entire Christian walk and how those things, connect to even the ministry that God has for you. And so it took me at least the second year, I think, is when I was kind of like, okay, this is a ministry and I'm okay with saying and okay with calling it a ministry and okay with saying that I am a minister of God's word, a minister of the gospel. And although I don't necessarily have the church backing that I guess I thought I needed in the beginning, I know now that I don't need it and I don't seek it and I don't feel any kind of way about it. I think initially I felt like I needed it, and then when I didn't get it, it had me feeling feeling some kind of way, But now, like I said, 6 years into it, God continued to develop and grow me. And show me that he is the head of this ministry and that everything is rooted and grounded and established in him. And so whoever is with me and who's not is, it's fine. It really truly is. So getting past that part where my feelings are no longer in it, but I really can accept people for what they bring to the ministry. I just accept people for where they are and who they are. Like that has been my prayer. And I was talking with my spiritual mentor last night, and I was just sharing with him because it is still stressful. It is extremely stressful. And I was sharing with him some of the stressors, and he was just laughing because he's been in ministry for probably 30, 40 years or something. I don't know. But he was just laughing because some of the stuff that I'm experiencing is like, yeah, that's pretty much normal, And he talked about just continuing to have just this dependency on Christ and this very real connection to his word and being established in him and being established in his word and keeping at the forefront always, the ministry call and what he's called you to and how what he's called me to do is different, ever so slightly or vastly different than perhaps what he's called other people to do, even in the same sphere, which is, in ministering to God's women. And so keeping a focus on what it is that God has for you. And that I've learned and I'm growing and I'm so grateful to God for the lesson because I understand that what truly, what he has recognized for girlfriend therapy, what he has designed girlfriend therapy to be is very specific, and I have to continue to stay tuned to him for that specificity so that I may stay in line with the specificity of what he is calling girlfriend therapy to be. And so, the enemy try to throw around distractions or whatever. Like my best friend always say, get distracted by the side shows, and there are a lot of side shows. You guys will never hear about it, but maybe I'll write a book or something. But there are a lot of sideshows. And so what I'm learning is, 6 years into this public ministry is that there are a lot of things that you wouldn't know happens behind the scenes. And in dealing with other people in ministry and the disappointments, I think, because you have this expectation, it's like, hey, this is kingdom work, and you have this expectation that people will respect it and all this stuff, and they will accept it, and they will, I'm coming from scripture. This is what the word of God says. And, but the resistance that you get it really is unbelievable. And another thing that I've learned is that I just have to really stay true to the call that God has for me and what he's doing through me on the platform that is Girlfriend Therapy, and just really staying true to that. And, still aware, and I guess to some level documenting the resistance, but I'm smiling, but really it's not funny, because there are some days where I'm just like, are you kidding me? You know, there are some things that people say and do, and you're just like, are you kidding me? You know, and my spiritual mentor, talking with him last night, he was like, you can't be responsible for people. Like, you can't control how people are going to receive you, how people are going to perceive you. You can't control what people may say. Like, you have zero control over that. Only thing you can do is stay in the will of God. Make sure that you are walking in the purest purpose and plan that he has for the ministry that he's giving you, which is his ministry, which is kingdom work. And that's it. And be responsible for you, you know. And so I'm learning that, and I just wanted to share that. But just a lot of lessons. And I'm sure this is year 6. I'm sure as I continue to grow and Girlfriend Therapy continues to grow, there'll be more lessons to learn. And I'm all for it. You know, I'm here for the lessons. One of the things I was sharing with him yesterday, as I was talking to my spiritual mentor, I was saying that I realized from year 1, you know, the level of concern and the things that, you know, that you were focused on. And, you know, as you grow, it changes. And so year 2, you know, there was still stuff, but it was different stuff. You know, then year 3, there's stuff, but it's different stuff. So now year 6 is like, there's still stuff, but it's different stuff. And when you begin to look at them on a scale of things, you know, the challenges, I think, seem greater, but that's because you're on a greater level, and God is, you know, developing something greater in you. And so with the greater, there's always going to be that continuous process of pruning. And that's what I, you know, share with people all the time, is that there is, without question, undoubtedly, a serious pruning process that you go through. And you know, I think people in ministry get it. I think people who want to be in ministry don't necessarily get it. I think people who go into ministry without a clear sense of what it is, I don't think that they necessarily get it. And so it's, you know, it really is just a journey. And this is year 6. So I imagine year 10, you know, I will have a even greater story, you know, with even greater trials and even greater, results, you know. And then I think that's how it is. You know, I think I have on here still, you know, onward and upward. I'm looking at my yeah, I think, oh, no, it is up there. I don't know if you can see it up at the top. Somewhere up there. Yeah, it's on the side. Yeah, you can't see it. But still have it. Oh, no, I don't have it up there. Sorry. But used to have up on my board, onward and upward. I can't believe that I erased that. Sorry, because I had a lot of other stuff that I was, as you can see, I had like my budget. You can't see that, but you don't need to see that either. Unless you're going to sow a seed. But I have like my budget written on my board, and have some to-do stuff written on my board. Of course, still have my how to write a parable, because that's something that I'm hoping to do this year. I thought I actually had it, but I lost it. But in any case, you know, onward and upward, the idea is that as you increase, you know, there's just new level stuff. You know, new level stuff that you get to deal with. And one of my biggest challenges, I'll tell you, is not responding to everything. I've learned that that is like one of the best lessons I've learned, I think, is, you know, you don't have to respond to everybody. You don't have to respond to everything. I learned that people have ideas of what you're supposed to do and who they think you are, or who you should be. And I've learned that you don't have to fit into what other people think you're supposed to be, but that you just really, truly have to walk in the purpose that God has for you. I know that every part of me, everything that exists in me now, you know, every emotion, every feeling, every thought, every knowing, everything is for the benefit and the glory of God. And those things that are not, God continues to prune and perfect me, and to break and develop me in the ways that I need to be developed, so that I can be the best vessel for his use. And that is my life. That is my offering. You know, it's just my whole self, completely and truly and completely surrendered. So I don't know what the purpose of this video is. I just really kind of wanted to talk about me, my life, ministry, and just some of the challenges that you face. So hope you guys are having a blessed day. And thanks for taking a minute to listen to this video and just listen to me. Like I said, I'm just trying to do something to take my mind off of conference planning. So what better way to do that than to do a video? So thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time, blessings.